Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks for clicking the video. As sure as everyone's seen so far today with the crazy news, which I guess isn't too crazy, the Cleveland Browns have signed Jadeveon Clowney to a one-year deal. It is $8 million for the 1 year with $2 million in incentives, so up to $10 million. It's kind of interesting to see everyone online, Browns fan and not Browns fan, their perspective on it. And even I know before him, after his first visit, and I'm a Browns fan, a lot of Browns fans were kind of talking crap about him, saying that he shouldn't be on the team. Now, magically, everyone all of a sudden is very excited to have him. It's kind of weird how that works, and it's kind of, I don't know, pick one side and stick with it. Me personally, I've always liked the idea of having him. Who cares if he has durability issues because it's a one-year deal? If it was like that hypothetical 3-year deal that they say that Andrew Berry offered him last year, that's a completely different story. I would have a completely different take on that. But this, in my opinion, is a low risk, high reward signing. We have the potential to see if we can get the output and upside of him for this year, and if he gets injured, I mean that'll stink, but it is what it is. We move on from it at the end of the year. It's a 1-year deal. I think he's a player too that with McKinley being the other signing that we had, I think that's a great idea to have those two kind of be rotational pieces with each other and not rely on one or the other having all the snaps. And I think hopefully that'll help with Clowney's durability issues and kind of help with McKinley not being that main guy for his own production's sake. But as far as the Browns in general, like I think this is a great move. It's a great addition. Anyone who says it's not, I think they're kind of crazy. I watched the press conference of him too. I think it's so he was actually very open compared to most players when they do a press conference, which I was kind of surprised by. Very glad our media from the Browns' sake didn't go too crazy bashing him for not signing him last year. I thought that could have been really awkward, potential to be really awkward, and they really didn't go that far, which I'm kind of surprised and I'm happy about that. One thing that's interesting is that he said he let go of his agent, and his agent was a big part of the reason not wanting to come here. And I think I read somewhere, don't quote me on this, that his agent is also Myles Garrett's agent, or at least the one that prior was before he got fired from Jadeveon Clowney. And that's kind of interesting because that means that Myles Garrett's agent in this scenario was telling Clowney that this is not the right fit for him when supposedly we were offering him a crap load of money. So I kind of don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of interesting, but nonetheless, this agent's like, hey, this team's actually decent now, and they're the only ones that are going to be offering you over, $5 million pretty much, and like a chance to play starting opposite Myles Garrett. It's kind of hard to pass up that. So no matter what his thoughts were in Cleveland before, it's kind of hard to deny that this is a really good situation for him. And so it's just a very exciting move. I think he's going to be a beast on our defensive line if he can stay healthy. As far as the Browns in general heading into the draft, I think we actually have most positions decently covered. The one that people don't always talk about, I don't know why, is that I still think we need a cornerback pretty bad. We have Denzel Ward number 1. We have Troy Hill as our slot, so I can kind of consider that like a number 3 cornerback. Then we kind of need a number 2. Yes, we have Greedy Williams, but who the hell knows how he's going to come back and feel. We can't rely on him, and quite frankly, we can't rely on Denzel Ward playing a full season either. So I think we desperately need a first or second round pick to be a cornerback in the draft now. And who cares about the edge that much? If we get an edge, cool, because I think it's like offensive linemen or edge rushers. You can never have enough of them. But yeah, we need a cornerback. For those who say linebacker, who cares? We have decent depth at that. I thought Malcolm Smith played really well last year, so have him and Walker being our starting linebackers, let's say. I think that's great because we don't run a lot of linebacker heavy sets. It's a lot of the safeties will end up playing linebacker. And then we also have the Phillips, the rookie last year, and then we have Mac Wilson, Taki for backup roles. So I think that's actually decent depth for that position. I would actually argue, too, that we might need another safety in the draft after Ronnie Harrison and Grant Delpit, since we don't know how he's going to be either. And obviously John Johnson, who we signed in free agency. Probably doesn't hurt to have a 4th guy and then get rid of Sheldrick Redwine, who I'm not a fan of. Defensive line, too, we might need another D tackle. We're kind of thin. And yeah, that brings up another point too. If you guys have seen this, but we're getting very tight in cap space for once, which is awesome. We're actually spending our money, but I'm kind of concerned with one player they're suggesting that they might cut slash restructure, depending on how it goes, is Sheldon Richardson. And I really hope we don't. I know he's getting a boatload of money. I want to say it's like $14 million a year for this year, which I think is kind of too much for him. But nonetheless, I thought he's a pretty good player. He was way better than Okajinobi last year, I thought, and it's pretty obvious. I thought he held up really well last year, and he was durable too. He actually played majority of the games, if I remember correctly. But I hope we keep him, or if we have to restructure, fine, but I hope that just works out. I really don't want to sign Clowney then cut him, because at that point, I don't know if that's a net positive. That might be either a neutral or negative move. But yeah, I love the move. It gives us more flexibility in the draft. Like I said, cornerback, I think we desperately need. We probably need another defensive tackle, and we need a wide receiver. As much as I don't get you, some of you Browns fans, not all of you, but some of you who are saying we don't need a wide receiver. Yeah, we do. We're not going to be keeping Landry and Odell Beckham this upcoming season. For this upcoming season, they will be playing together. And then after that, I guarantee they're not going to be both 2 years down the road on this team. It just financially won't make sense. And we have probably that money could be better allocated somewhere else. And I hate to say it, but they're kind of getting relatively older for wide receivers too. So I don't know from that standpoint if it'll make sense either. And for those just saying why not just trade him now? You can't, because he's not worth anything. You might be able to get like a second round pick at best. But at that point, I'd rather just take my chances with him on the team, and hopefully him and Baker can gel. So with all that, nonetheless, though, Browns have a lot of upside this season. I think we can all agree that this is probably, at least in my lifetime, this is the deepest and most talented Browns team we've had. Again, seeing comments and all that, I'm glad everyone's happy for those who are with the Clowney signing, but please don't become those fans who start saying Super Bowl and just talking up ourselves. That's the last thing we need, is for other teams and their fans to think that we're all, full of BS. And I mean, I don't know. We have a good team. Yes, we should be realistically a Super Bowl contender, or at least be in the contention to make the Super Bowl. But let's chill for a second. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong too. One being that, hey, as far as all the information we've seen, Baker and Odell don't play well together so far. You could blame whatever reason, sure, and there's a decent chance that'll change. As of right now, it doesn't look like that, so we have to pay attention to that. We got to pay attention if Coach Stefanski can still keep up his great work and all that, which sounds pretty obvious to most, and you're like saying, why question that? Rookie coach of the year candidates typically get figured out pretty early, and rookie coaches in general. So it's usually year 2 is a little bit tougher, and just generically being the position of him being in year 2, coming back to the Browns, because teams figure out their offense a little bit more and they have more film to watch. So that's something to keep an eye on. And as usual, as we found out last year, durability and injuries, that could be a big thing too. So there's nothing guaranteed with that. If we can stay relatively healthy, I think we have a really good shot of going really far. If we have injuries, though, that could derail us, whether that just be another tackle goes down, or Myles Garrett gets injured, or Denzel Ward, which is probably the most likely, will just, apparently snap in half like a stick. And, But nonetheless, though, I hope everyone doesn't go too crazy making that assumption, but I do think we should be happy with this move, signing Jadeveon Clowney, and we are pretty clearly the most talented team we've had in a long time, and really one of the top 5 teams talent-wise, in my opinion, in the NFL. So with that being said, thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully, love to hear what you guys think about the signing as well, and hopefully we'll get some more great Browns news with the draft coming up. Hopefully we'll have some solid draft picks to add to the team, and then after that, it should be pretty solid roster. But yeah, thanks for everyone for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.